Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 19, week 2, day 3. So today, of course, biggest thing that we have going on today, today is if you're buying, or if you're spending 50 gems per day to, if I could ever click on the right thing, to finish out the current summer event, today is the day that you would naturally end up getting yourself the Ember Claw. And of course you get 3 copies of him when you end up getting him. So he has an interesting final trait, converts a purple to elemental star when turn begins. This is a decent amount of mana accumulation. Can be denied by the board, of course, running out of purples, but generally speaking, that isn't really going to happen too often. His ability is unfortunately a bit weaker compared to similar things that could do something like this, most notably Takshaka. But there are a lot of situations where it could potentially gain more mana. So today, we're going to be doing a lot of PvP today. Actually, we're probably going to go for about an hour and a half or so tonight. But maybe even longer. But yeah, we're gonna go for a little good while, and yeah, when we mess with all the PvP stuff, because we'll be doing at least a hour PvP grind tonight, we are also gonna be messing with him and see what we can do. Might even use him on each one of the teams. But yeah, he definitely has some potential, and let's go unlock him right now since we're talking about him. But we'll mess around with him mostly when we start getting into PvP. I'm not gonna quite mess with him right away, though we will go unlock him right away. But anyways, hello everyone! Hope you guys have been having a wonderful week. Let's start from the top. Hello, Bill Warhammer! Hello, Isabel! Hello, Mark! Hello, Chad, and thank you for the continued support. Greatly appreciate it. Means a lot. Thank you. Hello, Bill Warhammer! Hello, Isabel! Hello, Chad! Hello, Jets! Hello, Mark! Sitting up at 135,000 VP. Nice. Yeah, I haven't really gone for any, like, the super high grinds yet. Hello, Draco! I mostly want to see what happens with the next season's VP system, like how that's going to work. And then maybe we'll power grind a bit. I just want to see how it works first before we go too crazy with it. Hello, Mr. Z. Hello, let's see. You would die if you walked into a Red Lobster? Hello, Cookie. Hello, Bill. Hello, Miss Insane Witch. And hello, everyone else. Welcome. I think I'm caught up in chat. Anyways, let's go kill some things. Yeah, we'll be messing around with the new beer quite a bit today. Mostly for PvP, because everything else that we're going to be doing today doesn't really need them. But for PvP specifically, we are going to go and bring him out and see what we can do with him. As that will be one of his more useful things, is for mana accumulation in such teams. But he can also find himself into 4 times Nexus, 4 times, you know, when you have to use a pure Nexus team, a pure Urska team, a pure Urskia team. Actually, not pure Urskia. He's not from Urskia. But he is from Urska. He's an Urska, but not from Urskia. So he'd be Nexus, Elemental, and Urska are the 3 categories he would fall into. Alright, and now with our 400 points, 3 copies of the little guy, and of course we'll orb him, do all that. He also gets fight all stats later down the line as well, which is nice. Clear filter, save filter, there we go. What am I looking for? I'm looking for upgradable. Yeah, let's go max this guy up. Oh, I didn't even max the Glory Troop this week? Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, here's the Glory Troop from this Monday. I got all the copies to do so, and I always buy up to 4, so if we ever need a team of 4, which obviously never really happen, but I do it anyways. Not sure if you guys noticed that. But every time a new Glory Troop comes out, I normally don't mention this, but I always buy enough copies to max it and still have 4 copies if I ever want to run a team of 4. Is this relevant ever? Pretty much never. However, I still do it out of habit, because what if it just becomes a meta team out of nowhere that does? It is absurdly unlikely. It hasn't been probably for like a year or 2, if not longer. But I still always do that just in case. It's like, maybe this thing is like meta and I just don't realize it. That's almost never the case though. But you never know. I'd rather have too many of it than not enough. They're basically free. So might as well. Sometimes there's like a small gimmick on it that's like, okay, in this like niche situation, it would be useful to have multiple of it. But no, that thing's just useless. Anyways, oh, that actually gives us a Nexus. Oh yeah, we were mentioning this earlier. We do reach 20-star Nexus. I think we mentioned this on Monday, and someone reminded me on Sunday. But yes, Nexus does reach 20-star from having this troop. It's been available since Monday, though today is the most realistic day to end up getting it. And yeah, I believe it's permanent armor. Yeah, +1 permanent armor. Not a lot, but you know, +1's more than not +1. Always great to see. Beyond that, what do we need? What do we need? All right, so did we finish the bear event? I think we did. Just want to make sure we did all of our battles. Okay, summer event, good. We have the bear. We will be using the bear, though not right now. But we'll be using it a ton this stream. Apparently we gotta go to explore. I'll go get that out of the way real quick. Yeah, we'll mostly just clear through dailies, I think, real quick. And then focus entirely on PvP, with a lot of those PvP using the new bear troop that we just got. I think that is our game plan. It's our premeditated team? Ah, that's a funny pun. That's a really funny pun. You gotta really stretch that, though. I think that only works in text. I don't think you could say that in a way that would work. But in text form, that works perfectly. Premeditated. That's really funny. So why am I taking an extra turn when we have auto win? It's weird because whenever I do this team for a long period of time, I basically never do that. If I'm ever using this team for a short duration of time, I always feel the need to go for extra turns because, you know, in a normal fight, you'd want to take the extra turns. But on a team like this, you already have the auto win button and do not need to take the extra turn that's just sitting there or every other place that they are. A lot of times it's actually quicker to let the AI take all your extra turns as well, as they will take it quicker than you, assuming you don't need the mana, but still need to pass your turn. Yeah, there we go. That should have been our objective. I like that new pop-up. I still check just in case. But that pop-up makes it so you don't have to check anymore. It literally tells you, like, hey, you're done. I still check just in case, though. Out of paranoia. Oh yeah, we finally reached 4 tower now, so Invasion Event is as free gets. We have, like, 10 times attack value this week. So they are so dead the second we look at them. Alright, I'll take that out, boom. Take that out, boom. And they're already dead. Okay, this is a really free evasion week. Not the easiest we've ever had, but definitely on the easier, like 10% of easiest ever. Because we have a scroll spammer into basically double attack at starting value. Into an OK mana accumulator. Hello, Ginky! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Hey, I can't believe my trip is already around the corner. It feels weird planning a trip and then going on it like weeks later. A lot of times when I plan out a trip, I plan it like months ahead of time. It just always feels weird to plan out a trip and then within the same month, like, go on that trip. I was like, I can't believe how cheap the tickets were. I'm not sure why, but it has always been dirt cheap to go from South Carolina to New Jersey, and vice versa. I'm not sure if I mentioned how much it is. Not counting tax, it is $60 round trip. Not one way. $60 both ways, total. In this economy. Which is absurdly cheap. It's not like it's close either. It'd be a 10 to 12 hour drive if you were to drive. Which is why it makes no sense to drive there. You'd use more gas going one way than you would for the entire flight, both ways. Mr. C. Hello, Jets, by the way. Welcome, welcome. Not sure if I said hello earlier. Hope all's been well. Yeah, it feels really weird because I actually have a lot of free time over the course of the next month. Like, if it wasn't for this trip, I would actually have nothing going on the entirety of this next month. It's like the freest I've been all year, and I don't know what to do now. I have, like, so much free time. After what has otherwise been a semi-hectic year here and there. Not, like, overly so, but compared to this month, there's, like, nothing going on. Well, other than that trip. Which is why we're doing it now. And it works, it's during the holiday. I will finally be able to meet up with Isabel too while we're on the trip. Since she's pretty nearby. I think we said July 2nd? Should we go get the whole crew there? Not sure who else is near the area. Yeah, there we go. Since we never go to any conventions or anything. Yeah, probably the second around noon or so. I'll let you know the exact time because I don't know really until I get there. And I say noon because I probably won't have an alarm, so I need to wake up actually naturally. And while sometimes I get into a sleep schedule pattern where I wake up early, there are other times where I might wake up like way late in the day. Oh wait, I'm using the wrong team. Wait, what battle am I doing right now? Okay, I'm using an extremely wrong team, but got really lucky that that first battle is free. Oh, you do have infinite attempts on this, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I'm looking for Takshaka. And no, set an alarm. Yeah, I know I will. I normally wake up early enough. Hello, Anderson. Welcome, welcome. Oh wait, I'll take the pet food. I was gonna ignore that, but honestly, we'll grab it. I'm actually running kind of low. Isabel. Yeah, gosh, I haven't ate at the sawmill for a while. I think the last time I was there was... Actually, that's not true. I ate there last year. Never mind. Prior to last year, the last time I think was 2021. But no, now that I think about it, I ate there last year. I do have to say, last time I went, it wasn't as good. I think they just had an off day or something. Because I know the time before, they were still really good. They probably still are, generally speaking. I think they just might have had a pretty off day. They were pretty busy at the time, which could have contributed to it. Though in all fairness, they're always busy. When are they not? Ah, we did get weakness. I was hoping we wouldn't hit it. Unfortunate. I'm pulling a tacit and not following the conversation. Well, the problem with reading anything in YouTube chat is if you start reading from the most recent comment, you're reading the entire string of comments in reverse order. So the context may be like completely gone by that point. Which is why I'm sometimes confused when I read something in chat beyond my automatic confusion that I would normally have by some things. It's also because a lot of times when you're reading through chat, you're reading it in inverse sequence. which definitely makes almost anything said more confusing. Reading it from the bottom up instead of from the top down. I said hello, Ginky, by the way, if I didn't say hi earlier. Not sure if I did. Hope all has been well. Yeah, I'm probably still doing Power World this Friday. Or sorry, not this Friday, next week's Friday. Not this week's Friday. Next week's Friday. Because that'll be the last time I'll have to play, like, it'll probably be the only day I'll really have to play it. Since I'll be gone the following week. And by that point, I'm not sure if we're going to revisit it until the next update after. So everything we're going to do with it, we're probably going to be doing that Friday. Both single player and group. However many people we have for. I know I'll have Isabel. I think Ginky said she might show up a little bit later. Not sure about Cookie, but he might stop by. Wait, I'll probably try both. I'm not really sure all the features I've really added. I'll definitely take a peek at it. We're gonna need to like rebreed everything for PvP too, but I'm pretty sure PvP is not gonna be worth doing in that game. I don't know, you never know. What am I doing? We did that, we did that, we did that. I need to go buy Underspire and then go do them all tomorrow. And by all, I mean a good chunk of them. However many we end up doing. Alright, we did that. Glory, we're gonna do 1 billion of. 20 glory, we're gonna do like 20,000 glory. Alright, oh good, we have 4 XP boosters too. So we could actually do a full EXP booster while doing PvP. Oh wait, but it won't matter. Because we get no EXP. Ah, I forgot. They still haven't fixed the PvP EXP bug. That's annoying. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Yesterday was Wednesday, right? And today is... No, today is Wednesday. No, I mean, yesterday was Tuesday, which means today is Wednesday. Which means the inner ring has 3 gold medal areas. Ooh. We definitely gotta go take them. Yeah, let's go take them. Yeah, we have purple, blue, and green. Oddly enough, I'm not sure if I have a team set up for each one of these yet. We'll find out in a moment. Do we have a team set up for you? Yes. You're totally available to do co-op and cause mayhem? No, no mayhem. Only co-op. Let me do one of those 2 things. I'm not even sure how much new content there's really going to be to explore. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where within like 3 hours we'll see everything. I'm not sure. Taco night at the Shark House? Nice. 1 day late though. Yesterday was Taco Tuesday. So every night could be Taco Day. You got a Lesser Orb of Glory today. You put it on elite level to Ember Claw. Nice. Yeah, we will be messing with Ember Claw soon. I wanted to just get all the daily parts out of the way. But once we do, we're going to be moving straight into testing what Ember Claw can do. And the only daily we have left is PvP now. And then we'll go hand out code, and then we'll go do the hour boost. And just farm PvP for a bit. I'll probably double buff today as well, even though we get no XP for it, unfortunately. Extra stats would help speed things along. And we kind of have to anyways to get the final Val Raven. Did I ban Lester? No. He can't type in stream? That's weird. Yeah, I didn't ban Lester. Did you ban Lester? Oh no, did someone ban Lester? That sounds like something that would happen. Did you two ban Lester? Oh no, I can go check my back end later. Interesting. But yeah, it's not something I can quickly change, I don't believe. But I do know where to change it. But it would take me several minutes to get there. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I'll make sure you're unbanned by next stream. Let's see. What am I looking for? What color are we under? Oh yeah, purple. Yeah, we'll go probably pretty standard purple team. Thrall, Leprechaun, Stellaryx, Wand. Don't really need much more than that. This team's like really cheap mounting Stellaryx as well. Is a common and ultra rare a weapon that can be something other than Wand of Stars, and then just like a damage source. Or just happen to be using a very big damage source. But Stellaryx is definitely not required for this team. It's just the strongest thing we can put in this team. Yeah, just double purple's fine. I don't really mind a minus anything. Let's do purple. Oh, let me go Archmatrix or something. Actually, let me go Mech. I've been really enjoying using Mech lately for 50% mana start into Barrier into Dispel. It's a really nice combination. Oh, hello, Lester! Is this different Lester account or same Lester account? Also, Lester, what's your current username that you think is banned right now? Because knowing exactly what it is will make it easier to find. Like, if Mr. Z ever gets banned, I have no clue how I'm going to unban him. Because his name is always so confusing. Isn't your name just like Lester something normally in chat? The banana was shadow banned. Is it YouTube that banned you then? Because I'm pretty sure no one in my chat has banned you. But YouTube might have seen what you've been typing and thought you were either a bot and or too malicious for the site. Is it possible that YouTube did it? Actually, there's an easy way to check. Lester, have you been able to talk in anyone else's stream? Like, have you gone to another stream recently and tried talking on the account? Because if the answer is no, then you're definitely not banned on my end. That'd be like a YouTube-wide thing then. Which would be beyond my control. I need to go do the buff so we can get the thing. I'm gonna go double buff since we're gonna be doing so much PvP anyways. You already greeted everyone from the shadows. Well, Lester, what was your account name again so I can control find it later? Like, do you remember exactly what you were currently last named on the other account? Because I can just control find it and find it instantly if you're on my ban list. Just need to figure out where that page is. I know generally where it is, but it's buried behind like 5 menus. This is in a very inconvenient location to get to. Why'd I do that? We already had the thing there. Oh, is it just Lester's banana? Okay. You know, check it after your stream. Actually, I guess I could technically check it now. Let me go see. You know what? We'll check it now. I just gotta figure out where it's buried. One moment. Doo-doo-doo. It's not over here. That's not it. 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 Permissions? No. Is this it? Yes. Okay, I found it. Alright, ban list. I wonder if it's in chronological order. Do 28 more. Can I control find this screen? I can. Perfect. I am not seeing a single Lester on my ban list of any variety. There is a complete lack of Lester on our current ban list. So it must be a YouTube-wide thing or something. Oh, hello, Rob! Welcome, welcome. Yeah, you are nowhere to be seen on our ban list. I have checked far and wide. And there be none. I even manually checked all like 100 something that are on here, almost all of which are bots. I think 98% of my ban list is bots, because we generally don't ever ban anyone. Also, somehow we have like 10 different Sydney bots banned. There's literally like 10 accounts on here called Sydney M that are all different bots, but all have the name Sydney M. When on earth did we ban so many Sydney M's? Ignore list is real. But yeah, I just double checked. You are nowhere's on the ban list. But yeah, we have like a dozen Sydney M's on our ban list. It's really funny. Because for whatever reason, we were getting botted heavily at one point when YouTube had much more of a botting problem. And for whatever reason, there was a bot that kept going around called Sydney M. All of them were called the exact same thing. That was a while ago, gosh. That was like 5 years ago. Yes, we will be testing the Emberclaw teams. I'll be doing that as soon as I clear out these 3 categories. I'm just getting our buff, getting all of our gold marks, and then, we're going to be messing with Emberclaw the rest of the stream. That is the game plan. So if you guys have any team suggestions for it, definitely let me know. But we'll start off with the most basic ones. Like this team with double of it and stuff like that. Start just like moving it around and see what we can go with. Alright, we did that, we did that. Is that all the categories now? Or did we not take green yet? Okay, I haven't taken green. How are we doing on Valhawks? How are we doing on VP? Oh, we still haven't hit 5,700 yet. I need to go do that. But, let's go take our 3 green, or 5 green real quick. No, I don't have a team set up? Ah, fine. I'll go do the team again. And then we go camp central with the new troop. And I can't for these categories because he doesn't use yellow or purple. I mean green or purple, I mean. Alright, I put a wand in there. Let me put a... I don't know, what am I trying to do here color-wise? I guess just double green is fine. And of course, mech class. Alright, clear through these and then we'll be good to go. I am curious to see what the bear will end up doing. After these 5 fights, we'll go test it. I probably will for the rest of the stream. We'll get a good hour of testing in. Like, once we clear out this green category, every team we run for the rest of the stream will use at least one bear. And we'll start with the most obvious alt team and then kind of go from there. Because the most obvious one is build a Stellarex team, but replace every Stellarex. I mean, sorry. Build a Takshaka team, but replace every Takshaka with the bear. And then kind of go from there. I do feel like the best mix will be doing one Takshaka and one bear, though. To get a combination of both. Because if you ever need to cast it, Takshaka's ability is way better than bear's ability. I said hello, Rob, if I didn't already say hi. Welcome, welcome. Finally, crafted Stellarex last night? Nice! Oh yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's the strongest troop in the game by, several miles. He's in, like, his own S+++ category. Like, we might have an S tier, might even have, like, an S+ tier. He has to be at least 2 tiers above that. Like, if we were to ever make an updated Mythic tier list in the current state of the game, we're going to have, like, a gigantic empty space of infinite empty tiers. And then have Stellarex all the way at the top. Alright, let's go start messing with the bear now. So, first things first. What's his name again? I'm just gonna type in bear. Is he actually called bear? No, he's not. Why can't you make this simple? What's his name again? Flameclaw, Ember something? Isn't it called Ember something? He's called Emberclaw. So I'm using elementals here. I guess for Submerge. I want to go mech meta. Mech meta's been fun. I do want to change banner slightly. Actually, it doesn't matter. It still gives blue. It doesn't look like he creates blue, but he actually does create blue. Even though he's a red-yellow. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it at blue, why not? No real downside to doing so. The only real concern I'll have with how he converts is you kind of already know where it's going to be. And it doesn't have the spontaneousness to clump as much. Also, is his ability double tap? Like Takshaka? Is it front 2 or 2 random? Explode a row, deal damage to the first 2 enemies. Oh, that's another downside of Emberclaw. He doesn't have double tap. Which means, yeah, you're definitely going to want to use one Takshaka whenever you use him. So optimally, you'd want to have one of both. If you kind of want to mix them and still... Like this is mostly going to be good if you don't have 3 Takshaka, or 2 Takshaka, or 4 Takshaka. He's a good offset for it, but you're definitely going to need Takshaka's ability. Look at how big of a difference this is. It is basically double damage, actually more than double damage. It has higher extra turn potential, and can double tap when there's only one enemy left. He will only single tap when there's one enemy left. So you're still going to need Takshaka on your team, generally, when you build him. Unless you're in a category that can't run Takshaka, of course. But otherwise, he will be good for that single elemental star, though. As on average, that one elemental star will do more mana accumulation than the one wild card off of a Takshaka. So yeah, this could be the new meta team, kind of. I think I'll still have a bias to keeping as just Takshakas, just because out of simplicity's sake. But I think this team might be slightly stronger than double Takshaka in the back. Not by much, but by enough. Alright, have we hit our goal yet? No, we need 5,700 and then we can go start doing the booster. Wait, what has Lester been doing in this chat? I've somehow missed like the last several chat messages. What on earth is happening? Oh yeah, comparing spells, Emberclaw is useless. Comparing final trait, Emberclaw is interesting. Because he's basically cheaper Takshaka. It also, generally speaking, will do more damage than a wild card. On average. There are situations where you will get more value from a wild card. It's definitely a lot more flexible when you're using a 6-color team. But the total amount of mana when this does work will give more mana normally. Generally because of the extra destroy, the cascade, the fact that it gives +1 to all 4 of those colors. But the problem is it's harder to match compared to Wildcard. Because Wildcard goes into 6 things, that only goes into 4. It also only replaces purple, so it's hard to clump them. Compared to it appearing randomly, unless the purple's already clumped. But that's less likely to occur compared to random colors. You can never have like 3 purple next to each other, 4 purple next to each other. Whereas you can have 4 gems next to each other. Like right here with all these wild cards, or with all these colors right here. Like you can get a wild card appearing anywheres here. But if you had the other mechanic, you can never have more than 2 purple next to each other. Making it harder that you'll actually end up landing extra turn from Emberclaw. Yeah, it's interesting. He's definitely not better than Takshaka if you already own it. But he's the closest you're going to get to an alternative. Which actually does make him pretty good in that regard. I just don't really see much of a reason why you would use this if you have Takshaka, unless under restriction where you're forced to. Oh no, we'll try it with like double or triple. Actually, we could even do triple and just see what it does. Try triple a couple fights and just see what it's like compared to Takshaka. But yeah, it does feel like from first impressions that you're not really ever going to use him unless... I might as well change color if we're going to do it this way. But you're never going to use him unless your category forces you to. Or you need to replace Takshakas you don't own. If you own 0 or 1, or even 2 and you want a 3rd. Like, he's mostly to replace every Takshaka you don't own. What am I doing here? Red. Double red, I guess. Right there. Alright, let me go save this team. Because what I want to go do is Emberclaw. Emberclaw. Let's throw down 1 billion Emberclaws. And luckily we got 3, so we can actually do exactly this. Alright, let's see. We'll take that one over. Where's the 69 emoji? There's a game called Chained Together would make for a chaotic co-op stream. Oh gosh. When is this turned into a family Fenry channel? I don't know, we always try to stay pretty tame. It's you and Lester that always make it not tame. Most of the time. Not always. Alright, the only problem with the team that we did this way, we have no counter to freeze. By design, because I wanted to see what triple Emberclaw can do. But honestly, my verdict on Emberclaw is you're never using this if you have Takshaka already. He'll simply replace every Takshaka you don't have. I really don't see this being better than Takshaka though. Alright, just to give a little bit more flexibility, let me add Wand back to this team and try it with double, why is Wand not showing up? Oh, Pride Lands. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let's try it like this just to give it its cleanse and everything back. It's definitely not bad, though. But I don't see this replacing Takshaka if you already own it, is the thing. It's just the alternative for you don't own 3 Takshakas yet. Troop. But it's really strong alternative. It just doesn't seem better than it. At least from what I can tell. Like, its consistency seems a lot less. Even if these stars on paper will give more mana, the way they're applied to the board is less of a chance that it'll actually turn relative to a star. Because they can't really clump together as much due to the fact they're replacing a purple. And you can never have like 3 purples next to each other or 4 purples next to each other. So the chance that you can get stuff clumped together is less overall. And of course just the natural fact that it counts as 4 colors instead of 6. That's definitely not bad. I think we finally have enough points now. Alright, let's go do the hour boost. I'll do PvP for next hour then. See how much we can get in that time. Alright, let me go hand out code. I said I would do that at that point. Oh, this is not the team I want to go do. I want to go do the one with 1 Umbra Crawl. So we're still using him, but not as much. Yeah, let me go get you guys the code 1 second. Codes are coming. There you guys go. There is the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com. Underneath the game code section, your invite code is in settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. And give same loot as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this claw guy's perfectly fine. It just seems like the legendary equivalent to Takshaka, which is an interesting option. I guess they saw Takshaka being so popular, it was like, oh, let's go add a cheaper option. Which honestly really healthy for the game because it makes it more accessible to early game players. Or people who might not have gotten multiple Takshaka upon release. But yeah, you can basically 1-to-1 replace him with Takshaka in pretty much any team. Assuming you're not restricted out of it because of a certain game mode. Like Naga only or something similar. Or Mr. Scales only. But otherwise, he's just a 1-to-1 replacement for Takshaka, but is ultimately weaker than Takshaka. But he does work with, like, Nexus teams, probably the best. Because he has that Umbral Star synergy, so, like, Wand, which I believe is from Nexus. So you could do, like, Wand, him, like, multiple of him, and then, like, something else. And you're good to go. You can even just do Wand, triple him if you want to. And that's your Nexus team. Because Wand is Nexus. So you can go Wand, triple beer. You could do Wand, double beer into, like, some other Nexus troop. Maybe some Nexus mythic you have or something similar. So yeah, it's not bad. I just, long-term wise, don't really see myself using him. Is he basically cheaper alternative Takshaka, but once you have Takshaka, I don't see much of a need to switch back to the weaker one. Unless we're under a certain restriction. Most notably Nexus. So it might come into play as well for Urska. Because under Urska you can run any weapon, which means you can still wand into triple beer. Which means for both Urska and Nexus restriction. Not Urska, but Urska and Nexus restriction, you'd actually be really good. You can run him for Elemental too, though I'm not sure he would work particularly well for Elemental. Like, you can still use him for Elemental. I'm just trying to think of, like, what the synergy trip would be. So, hello, Alex! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. But yeah, my verdict on Bear is you replace him for every Takshaka you don't have. But once you have the Takshakas, you never go back, unless you're under restriction where you have to. That is my verdict on the Bear. Which ultimately is a really good troop. I just don't see him replacing anything you would do if you already own everything, though. Other than specific categories where you'd have to. Yeah, I would definitely pick him up. And it'll be great before you have 3 Takshaka teams. Takshaka has not rotated in Soulforge yet, by the way. He should be in the next month or two, but he has yet to rotate. So if you didn't get like 2 or 3 at launch, it's kind of hard to. That bear will be a good alternative until then. Also, I had a team here earlier. Also, are we frozen? What just happened? I somehow just soft locked the game. I literally just crashed the game. I haven't seen that in a while. The game doesn't understand what just happened. I haven't seen that in a really long time. Oh, wait. I uncrashed the game. Somehow me clicking X to close the game uncrashed it. For reasons I do not comprehend. But yeah, I was literally soft locked, but then I clicked X to try to close Gems of War, and then it unsoft locked itself. The game doesn't want me to close it. It refuses. It instantly stopped soft locking the second I clicked X. That's really funny. So technically not a crash. But we got very close. It tried to crash. But then when I tried to close the game, it uncrashed itself. But yeah, Takshaka with that double hit is so much better than Bear, though. Not only does Bear only single tap, but it also single taps for like half the damage. King Hildor? Yeah, King Hildor could be okay. Even just self-synergy will be enough. Like 3 bears with just a standard elemental is fine. Running like hero weapon mana accumulation for the other one. Because he will yield a lot of mana. The biggest issue with him in categories like that is covering every color. Because obviously in some categories it's really easy to. But in all his special restrictions, other than Nexus, he doesn't have a way to do it. Which that's not true. Nexus and Elemental, you can both go Wand. So never mind, every category he can run, he can. Okay, never mind, hold up. You can run Wand in all 3 categories that he'd be used in. Because Wand is from Nexus, so you can run it in Nexus. And when you're doing troop type, you can always run any weapon. I didn't even realize that till just now. But yeah, you can run Wand, triple Umberclaw for all 3 of his categories. Nexus, Elemental, and Urska, I mean. Yeah, all 3 categories you can run Wand, triple Bear. And in some, it might even be your best option. It definitely would be for Nexus. It probably would be for Urska. The only category where it might not be strongest is Elemental. Just because Elemental already has such a handful of options. But you could definitely run it for Elemental still. I just feel like Elemental would have a stronger option that isn't him. Or pure team of him, I should say. But you still use him, I just don't think it's going to be an entire team of him. But yeah, all 3 categories that you can use them in, you can do Wand, triple Bear. That's rather interesting. I don't think we have any of those categories this week, though, do we? Because I would actually want to try that out right now if we could. I don't believe we have a specific category that is any of those three this week. Who knows, maybe next week we will. Now that there's a really accessible option for everyone for it. Maybe people voted in. Oh, so that's exactly why I run mech. Notice he has submerged there and now he doesn't. Oh, but nice, we just got 1,000 glory, but that's exactly why we're running mech right now. Yeah, let me double check. Do we have that category this week? I don't think we do, but if we do... I did not want to click on that. Bring back to PvP, please. Go back. We gotta double check. Let's see. Mystic, no. Fae, no. Mech, no. Naga, no. Mystic, no. Broken Spire, no. Mystic again, no. Why do we have 2 Mystics? Why did 2 Mystics get voted? What team are people running for Mystics? That they wanted double Mystics so badly? It's also weird that the voting system can now allow for double. I think it could even allow for triple if they appear enough times and they win each category. Because it just goes based on whatever the voting results are. So unlike in the past, it is actually possible to have a double, potentially even triple of the same category. Which is kind of weird. But if there's ever a category that's really popular relative to other categories, and they appear in all the voting sections, they could end up winning the vote in every section, and then we get one for every single category. Like, there could be triple outer ring of the same category, potentially. Assuming they come up in all the voting. But yeah, hopefully people will vote in one of the categories we can run the spear next week. Because I wouldn't mind trying that category with it for a little while and kind of see. We can technically run it in central area, but I feel like it's going to fall off a bit. Running like wand, triple beer into like whatever on Earth's going to be in our central. I feel like it's just going to be a little weak to those kind of teams. Not this one. This one's free against any team. You know, some of the other teams that we're going to have to deal with. It's just going to be a little weak towards. Yeah, they both match together. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Why do I always keep doing PvP on Wednesday? I mentioned this the other week, but I keep doing all my PvP battles on the one singular day where we cannot activate a pet. Which is probably the dumbest day to bother doing all your PvP battles. Dude, I've been doing it that way for like 2 months now. Like, it's fine, because ultimately we would have only gotten 1 for the entire hour regardless of how you look at it. But doing it on Wednesday guarantees we get 0. Because it's the only day where you're guaranteed to just not have any pet activations. So I might need to restart reconsidering that. The problem is, where else do we put it? I guess Thursday? Could work. And then Wednesday becomes faction day. We kind of swap them. These has to be relatively early in the week, but not like instantly at the beginning of the week. It has to be like somewhere in between. I don't know, what do you guys think of beer, if you've tried them yet? It's definitely nice if you're missing Takshakas, I will say. It also makes it so you really only need 1 Takshaka now, if you feel like it. Or if you don't feel like getting a billion of them. Like, you can live with only 1 Takshaka now. It's still ideal to have 2 or 3. But it's definitely a lot less of a necessity as of this trip existing. But you still want to have the 1 so you can have, well, for 1, to own a copy of it. For completionist sake and to get kingdom upgrades. But also because its ability is just way better. Its trait is only marginally better. It gives less mana, but it's easier to connect. But its ability is 1,000 times better compared to the other one. The Chirp definitely carried entirely by its final trait. Whereas Takshaka has a really good ability and final trait. Oh no. Yeah, it's a problem with that. Like, 2 elemental things would have already combined. That's kind of awkward because there's no way to use that properly. I've been under situations like that where you have to get more value from it. Use all the extra straw you get from it. I still personally prefer the consistency of Wildcard, though. That's definitely not bad. I think I might go replace him out for Takshaka now. He's basically just budget Takshaka is the easiest way of looking at it. And for the 3 categories where you would otherwise use them. Nexus, Urska, and Elemental. But if we get one of those next week, we're definitely going to have to bring him out again. Because he'll still be in drop table too, or, you know, from the event. So hopefully people will vote it in. We're definitely going to be voting in every single one of those categories if we can next week for Outer Ring. And hopefully one of them will make it through. Because that will be pretty funny seeing like Juan Triple Bear versus Juan Triple Bear as like half the teams. Because that will actually be in the player's favor, oddly enough. Because unlike Takshaka, it doesn't really have loop potential. It gets a lot of mana from its final trait, but its ability itself doesn't really loop. So if you're in a situation where you're in that situation, you're actually going to win pretty much every time. If you're in a mirror match of double, if you're in Juan Triple Bear versus Juan Triple Bear, the person who starts first will pretty much always win. Because it doesn't really have extra turn potential, whereas, you know, a Takshaka team, you can just get infinite looped at any point. Similar to like Beatrix and stuff like that. Where they're generally not going to instantly kill you, but they can. All they have to do is cast once and you're dead. We'll cast like 20 more times. Whereas this guy, you don't have to worry about that. He'll cast once, at most get maybe like 1 extra turn, and then he'll stop. The only situation that'd be really annoying with him is if your enemy has a lot more stats than you. Like if it's a Blood Frenzy and you have lower stats just to begin with. In that situation, you could actually die in a mirror match. At some point, we'll get a turn. I'm sure of it. Speaking of Beatrix just infinitely looping, I would love a turn. Are we just going to soft lock again? Yep. Oh yeah, that's interesting. if you select an ability... Oh yeah, we see what the soft lock is happening now. If you're hovering a card and trying to use the ability... Oh, we actually crashed that time. Hey! Well, we had it happen 2 times, though we know what's causing it. If the enemy kills you while you have an ability selected, the game gets very confused. And then wants to crash. That's the second time this happened to stream. The first time I got locked up but didn't crash. That time I actually crashed. Alright, so when they're infinite looping on us, click the retreat button, don't click the ability up button. You got it. Anyways. Alright, just for the fun of it. You know what team we gotta go try. I've mentioned it a couple times. Alright, we'll do 2. I'll do it with Stellarex and I'll do it with Wand. I'll do it with Stellarex first and then we'll do Wand build. Let's do triple Emberclaw into Stellarex, then we'll do triple into Wand. And then I'm probably just going back to normal team. It's Chad's fault. Alright, we didn't get full mana. But we did get quite a bit of mana. Let's go try it again. We'll try it a couple times. It's less likely we'll get full mana, but when we do get mana, we should get a lot more mana. But the overall likelihood that we get full mana with this team should be slightly lower. Actually, should be slightly lower than using 3 Takshaka. Well, whenever we do get matches, we should be getting more mana for those matches. I say that, though, it doesn't really look like we're getting that much more. Compared to if we just got triple wildcard right there. Did we get, like, some of our mana cancelled or something? Because that sure seemed like it did way less mana than it should have given us. But yeah, this is great if you don't own Takshaka, though. Like, you can nearly get Takshaka speeds while owning 0 Takshaka. With the downside of having a worse ability and slightly lower consistency. But for a team that uses no myth... Well, Stellarex is mythic, but you know what I mean. No assisting mythics. It's pretty solid. I still believe triple Takshaka is better, though. But this is substantially cheaper. Pretty much free, especially these next 2 weeks. And even in the future, getting 3 of him will be substantially easier than getting 3 Takshaka. Getting 3 of him will be easier than getting 1 Takshaka. Swap out for Essentia for 50% mana start? Yeah, we could. It would make it so we'd need less mana for Stellarex. Which would make it a lot more consistent that we'd get full mana. The main one I want to go try, though, is not necessarily Stellarex, because this seems really expensive. But let's go make it super cheap. Let's go test it with Wand. Because this is actually accessible. Wand, while a bit RNG to get, is... As long as you don't get really unlucky on Vault events, is pretty free of a weapon. So this is actually something you could have within your first, like, month of playing in the current state of game, or even at any point going forward. But particularly these next 2 weeks. It's Wand, Triple Bearer. The biggest issue with this is his damage output's not the greatest, especially if you compare him to Takshaka. But hey, it gets the job done. I think his biggest downside compared to Takshaka is lack of extra turn potential. While he doesn't completely lack extra turn potential, his chance of actually extra turning is pretty low. Because he has what? Just Explode Row? So unless you know for sure you have alignment on the board, he can't extra turn. Like right now I can look over the board and see that there is not a single location where we can extra turn with him. So we're just going to plop him somewheres and see if we can get like blue to fall from sky. We did not get a blue to fall from sky, so we did not get an extra turn. We can try stuff like that and see if we can actually get value. Because unless there's just like an obvious spot on the board, we can't really do anything. It's like right here, I could do it all the way at the top and try for double purple over there. I did not get either. Where can I go now? I guess we could do the elemental star. Oh wait, oops, you're not full mana. But now you are. Yeah, the lack of extra turn potential is really hurting it. Plus, you actually have to think of where you're going to use it. You can't just like mash click it. Double red instead of double brown, unfortunate. Yeah, it gets the job done, but interesting. Like, it definitely gets the job done. It's just one of those things you're not really bringing it out unless you're in a restriction where you have to. Oh yeah, you can do it with Ruby. You can do it with the Ruby mass weapon. We actually almost have all the components for that, right? I believe very soon we're getting 2 events. And I think within the next month we can actually go and create the Ruby weapon. So everyone who's been playing free-to-play or skip the events, you'll be able to go get the Ruby weapon soon. But yeah, this trip would be pretty good synergy with the Ruby weapon. As it shares a lot of the colors that it needs. Actually, isn't all 3 of its colors the colors it needs? Pretty sure it is. Plus, on top of that, you also have the true damage synergy. Because both of them are purely true damage. So it's definitely something we have to consider when that Ruby weapon rotates back around. Yeah, he's definitely good. I just don't feel like he's going to be used too often if you already have Takshaka, though. He's just like the cheap early mid-game alternative. Or even just not if you just don't want to get 2 or 3 Takshaka alternative. It gives you the experience of using a Takshaka team without having to have 3. Oh, that's weird. Gosh, how did I trick it out with that? How many weird things are we going to have happen to stream from spam clicking stuff? This definitely validates only needing 1 Takshaka going forward, though. Multiple is still nice for teams, but realistically, you only ever need 1 now. Even though there are quite a few things you still use 3 for. Yeah, I believe it was like red, blue, brown or something. I actually forget off the top of my head. I haven't been using it too much lately, just because it's been money locked for like half a year now. But I believe within the next month we get all the events we need to unlock it fully. So anyone who doesn't have it in the past will finally have it. But the main reason you don't ever really see me using it is it's basically a purely money locked weapon. It's the same reason you don't ever see me trying to throw in like a Chalice or something similar. Or that one Crescendo weapon. They're all money-locked weapons. But the Ruby weapon is a money-locked weapon that will become unmoney-locked very soon. As its final components should be rotating. It's probably the longest we've ever had a money-locked weapon that then became unmoney-locked. That's actually useful. Exactly, that one Midnight weapon's going on to like 5-6 months now without having it. But this Ruby weapon, gosh, I think it's almost like 6 or 7. And is actually useful, unlike the Midnight weapon. I'm pretty sure it's the longest a viable weapon has ever gone being money locked that would eventually not be money locked. I guess they just want to give everyone the value of having it. But honestly, I don't really see too much of a use in using it. Like, it's a good weapon. But you have to sacrifice not using Wand to use it, which in a lot of teams is not ideal in the current state of the game, particularly PvP. In other game modes, it's more justifiable to drop Wand. Though in current state of PvP, it's kind of hard to drop Wand on a team without getting completely obliterated by some infinite loop team that's going to freeze curse you instantly. Like in other game modes, you don't have to deal with that. So dropping Wand isn't as big a deal. But PvP, you pretty much have to use Wand. Like, I'm pretty sure 95% of any PvP team we ever make going forward, like, has to have Wand on it. Even budget teams, I feel, the need to put it on. It's just such a prevalent counter to absolutely everything. And it's pretty easy to obtain, assuming you don't get really bad RNG from Vault events. But even if you do, just a few Vault event weekends, you're pretty much good to go. Even with bad RNG, it shouldn't take that many Vault events. Like 1,000 Vault keys should be more than enough to get it, even like a year or two from now. Unless you get absurdly unlucky. And you can grind that within like 1 to 5 Vault events, depending on how much you go for per event. Which means you can get Wand from Refresher count within 1 to 6 months, depending on how much you grind for it, and or how lucky or unlucky you get. On average, of course. Could take longer if you get really unlucky. Because you need to find a Lover's Tarot card from Vault Keys. Which reminds me, we could actually be running those right now. Instead of just doing all this in PvP, I could be running some... honestly, I might go do that. We could be running... what's it called right now? We could be running... Vault Keys. And then hand out extra codes if we get anything juicy. Because right now we're getting like no XP from PvP. Where are we on ladder? I gotta go take rank though. Yeah, I'll still keep grinding, I guess. Yeah, we'll keep doing PvP, actually. We have plenty of time. We have, like, 3 weeks. I mean, 3 months. I mean, 1 month. Where am I getting 3 from? I guess it's, like, 3.5 weeks. Actually, I didn't necessarily plan my trip around it, but I believe we just barely dodged the Vault Event weekend. I'm pretty sure Vault Event weekend is the weekend after I get back. So for once, my trip doesn't actually coincide with a Vault Event weekend. There was 1 year where I went on like 3 trips to see family. Well, 2 to see family, 1 to see friends. And somehow all 3 of them fell on a Vault Event weekend. And that was back when Vault Event weekends were like every 6 to 8 weeks and didn't really have like a static schedule. Which means I think there was 1 year, I think it was 2021 or something, where half the year we didn't do Vault Event weekends. Or not that we didn't do it, but every time that we did do it, we did a lot less. It was really unlucky. Luckily now it's like super predictable when they're gonna happen. But no, we're just near as sporadic as they were in the past. Yeah, Wand and Stellaryx have been really bad for the state of PvP in the current state of the game. Because they're so strong that they leave little room to run anything that isn't them. Then combine that with things that can instantly give you full mana, and you basically have 0 team slots you can adjust. Because you basically have to have Stellaryx Wand, and you need to have instant mana accumulators, of which there are only a handful in the entire game. There's Takshaka, there's the new beer that came out. What else? Is there any else? Is that the whole list? Has to be something else. I guess Leprechaun and stuff, but not quite the same as instantly doing it. It leaves very little flexibility on what you can run. And has basically removed Hero as a weapon. Heroes basically just use Wand now. Like in pretty much any mode where you can be using Wand on Hero, you probably should be using Wand on Hero. The only exceptions is quick kill teams, like Explore 12 and the such, where it is actually quicker to not run Wand. But in every other situation, yeah, you normally just put Wand there. The only kind of battles you don't run Wand are super free battles that you can't possibly lose under any circumstance, where you might even be using your hero weapon as a weapon. Or just, basically any kind of quick kill battle. It doesn't matter like what rarity, even Explore 12 can be considered quick kill. Any kind of quick kill battle, you're generally not running Wand because it blocks you too much on mana. But any battle that's going to be slightly more dragged out or you need the utility of Wand, you're basically always running Wand. This includes PvP, high-level factions, and similar stuff to that. Or any kind of game mode where you definitely don't want to lose a battle because it has like a sigil system. In those kind of situations, Wand is used almost every time. It's just really good at not losing while covering basically every gap basically every support gap a team could ever have is covered by just putting a Wand on your team. It has Curse to deal with every positive status effect, it has Bless to deal with every negative status effect, and it has basically infinite mana gain with decent extra turn potential, while also feeding back into itself, while also using every color. So what are the extra effects of Wand? I actually forget. Gives life, gives gold. I don't feel like these do anything because I never see them happening. Cleanse Self, which is somewhat redundant because of the Bless. And give 1 to all mana colors. Cleanse Self is actually useful, but mostly redundant. The only situation Cleanse Self does anything is if you are currently cursed. Because normally if you bless yourself and you're cursed, what's going to happen is the Bless will cancel out the curse, which will still happen in that situation. However, because it has Cleanse on Self, you will actually full cleanse off of Curse. So, everything else on your team will still be affected with, like, Freeze and Tangle, you know, whatever else they have from Elementalists or anything else on the team. However, if they're both Curse and have all those effects on them. However, Hero, because it has the extra Cleanse ability there, will get full Cleanse, which can be a little useful. It's very niche, but it does come into play. So him having Cleanse isn't 100% redundant. It's only redundant if the enemy team has already cursed you. Oh yeah, it's also useful when you choose Curse, that's true. You generally don't use Curse too often unless you're using like an Iron Gut team, or if you're running non-mech. It's one of the reasons you normally see me running mech, because of Dispel. Because Bless will already cover the other end. The main reason you normally see me running mech, other than the fact that it has 50% mana start and barrier at the start of battle, is it has Dispel. And Dispel makes it so you don't have to cast the second ability on Wand. As the second ability has a lower chance of extra turning. Even with the 1 extra gem spawn, it's only 2 colors. So its extra turn rate is quite a bit lower. So more often than not, you should be spamming the first ability. For 2 reasons. One is it's easier to spam click, because you can just spam click it and don't have to go through like the menu and specifically click the other option. But it's also just extra higher extra turn potential, and you gain more mana from it ultimately. Because you get +1 for all 4 of the colors, red, brown, green, and blue. Whereas for the other one, you only get +2, because it only does yellow, purple. And it obviously has lower chance of extra turning, with only being 2 colors instead of 4. I think this is just a retreat. The weird part is, this team is actually relatively easy. It's a scroll spam team of sorts. But it is actually better just to retreat here. For our sanity's sake. It's kind of funny the teams you sometimes lose against. Because if we could just get going on the team slightly quicker, that would have been like the freest win ever. But because they got so much momentum early, it's just better to exit there. We probably could have won if we spent like 2 minutes on that fight, but it's not worth it. Yeah, if you're running Elementalist, you definitely use Curse more often. I've been opting a lot more for mech just out of simplicity's sake, though. Basically making it so you only have 1 ability instead of 2. As we essentially never utilize the Curse option. It is good, though. It's just a lot more situational when you would use it. And you can basically completely eliminate those situations by running mech and or any Dispel hero class. But just mech has the most benefits. Most notably 50% mana start. Which is one of the other reasons I haven't been using Elementalists as much. Unless you're using Mirage Queen on your team, you don't get half mana start with Elementals. The most you can get is 20%. Which is still nice, but 20% is definitely not 50%. Honestly, I don't feel like I use Mirage Queen that much these days. I feel like Elemental as a category is still pretty strong. But there's been so much power creep in some other categories that I feel like I keep overestimating how strong Elemental is. Elemental is as a category. It's hard carried heavily by Mirage Queen being decent, the hero class being decent, and like a few mythics being absurdly decent, as well as Truffle, of course. But beyond the handful of like 10 good things that Elemental category has, they're actually a pretty weak category. Despite like the 10 options that are absurdly, ridiculously strong, that define basically everything. Yeah, generally if you're running Elementalists, you're running it defensively. It's why on a lot of cheaper teams, I tend to change it for like the Elementalist or Titan class or something similar. Whereas the more offensive team generally runs a 50% mana start hero class. The specific one being relevant based on what the team is. Yeah, Elementalist is basically what Sentinel class used to be before Elementals existed. It's just the safest way to not die on hero. Because Elementalist has Entangle, it has Freeze, it has Stun. It has a Barrier on Brown. Does it have skull reduction? No. That was the Sentinel. But Entangle basically is its skull reduction. Also has Burn, but that doesn't help it defensively. How much time do we have on the thing? Should be like 20 minutes. Yep, 20 minutes on the dot pretty much. Let's keep going. Alright, this should secure our PvP rating to be pretty decent going forward for the rest of the week. I will open the Volkeys later then. That's perfectly fine. I can't believe tomorrow's Thursday already. Where did this week go? I feel like this week just started. I think the main thing that threw me off is I feel like Monday didn't exist. Because that's how my schedule went on Monday. I basically didn't even have a Monday. Which makes this whole week feel slightly off. I just realized we're still using Bear. Yeah, honestly, it's basically a perfectly fine Takshaka. Like, honestly, I haven't even noticed the last 10 minutes I've been using Bear. If you have Takshakas, I advise using them, but if you don't have Takshakas, literally just one-to-one replace every single one with Bear and you'll be fine. Let's keep calling him Bear. He's called Emberclaw. So he's the only relevant Bear troop, so I call him Bear. It's basically like calling Stellaryx Dragon in the current state of the game. Like, yeah, there's like 30-something good dragons. But if you say the dragon, I think everyone knows who you're talking about. Hey, we got a stray Dragonite now. Speaking of dragon. Come on, 100 roll. Or at least a 50 plus. 60, I'll take it. Nice. Not the highest roll, but honestly, anything 50 or higher is pretty solid. I'll say anything that isn't 20 from him is pretty solid. As long as you don't get the troll lowest drop. I'll take a 60. Essentia? Yes, Essentia is pretty good. I feel like I don't use Essentia that much these days, but it is really strong for 50% mana start for dragons. The problem with Essentia is her ability is like the worst thing to ever exist on a 50% mana start troop. I don't understand why they made it so abysmally bad. Especially compared to some 50% mana start troops that actually have like competent abilities or even like half decent ones. The fact that hers is like they basically tried to draft the worst ability a troop could ever have and then gave it to her. That's the main reason you don't ever really see me running Essentia. Because I feel like I'm running with a team with 3 troops on it. Oh, we're about to get Infinite Beatrix. At some point we'll get a turn. Alright, before we soft block, let me click out of there. I'm confident he's going to miss at some point. I'm just not sure if we're going to survive that long. We did not. Also, we can see there we're still getting 3 XP per battle. Wonderful. Have they still not fixed that yet? Yeah, Yellow Storm on it can be kind of annoying too. Because there's a lot of dragon teams that don't want necessarily Yellow Storm. A lot of times, because you have to force her really low on your team, you're forced to have to run Yellow Storm a lot of times with her for 4 turns. Which is not ideal at all. You can cancel that out by having her higher on your team or by having a Storm behind her. But given that her ability's so bad, you're basically just blocking mana if you put her up on the team. Or, you know, higher up on the team. I'm not sure what they were thinking with her. To some degree, I guess they were trying to balance it because 50% Dragon's mana start is so strong. But that's not a reason to give, like, a non-existent ability to a troop. Like, there are plenty of 50% mana start troops that have either good abilities or they have deliberately bad abilities, but they're at least, like, usable bad abilities. Essentially, you just never click. There's pretty much no point to ever click her unless you're about to lose a battle. Or you want a meat shield because your first slot died. Oh, we did get all those. Just double checking the thing. Where are we in PvP rating? We might just do the rest on Vault Keys for a little bit. No, we still gotta keep going. I might as well just do the rest on PvP then. If we're that far off. Because we're pretty much gonna have to do about that much anyways. We have like 13-minute boost left. I'm gonna have to do PvP for like 10 more minutes, so might as well just do it for the whole 13 at that point. Yeah, no Vault Keys tonight. So I do want to try opening some soon before I go on my trip in about a week from now. Yeah, we'll focus on opening them next week. Actually, what event do we have this weekend? We have Bounty Hunter, right? I believe it was Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter doesn't take that long these days. Maybe this weekend we'll go open some Vault Keys. Meat shield. Actually, it's funny. I forget why I was looking up the other night while we were streaming. I was looking up New York Prime, and I remembered, oh yeah, they have like the best steak in existence around here. I haven't ate there in like 15 years. I was doing it because I believe the lobster bisque, which they seem to have replaced with some kind of seafood bisque, which might be the same thing still, I'm not sure. It only went up a couple dollars, which actually isn't too bad. In 15 years, inflation only made it up go up by about $4. It used to be about $10.99. Now it's like 15. So it went up $4. Which for 15 years of inflation, that's not too bad. Everything else on their menu went up surprisingly not as much, so they're still really pricey. I think some of their finer cuts are like $70 or something for one person. Though that's, if I ever go there, I'm generally not going there for that. I'm going there for the soup. Yeah, I was surprised to see most items didn't really raise that much. At most, their prices went up like 20%. Which relative to everywhere else doesn't seem that much. I feel like the average fast food places went up by like 200%. Like, just by the fact that most places have eliminated a dollar menu, by default has already doubled the price of every fast food location. On top of whatever else they also increase. It's actually kind of absurd how, like, the percentage-wise that fast food has gone up the last, like, 10 to 15 years. Relative to restaurants. Or even just in general. Because I feel like they have gone up way more than inflation, or food prices, or, like, anything else. Like, any category of food that there is. I don't think any category has gone up more than fast food. Which kind of defeats the whole point of why you would even get fast food. Because one of the main appeals of it is it's supposed to be fast and cheap. And now it's not fast, because quality has been low at pretty much every fast food place. At least near me these days. And it's not cheap. So why are you getting fast food now? There's like no incentive system. Other than if they have like an exclusive new item that seems interesting or something, or you get a coupon or something. That actually does make it cheap again. Which is actually something I haven't seen in the mail for a while. I have not seen... I'm not sure if they just stopped handing it to my area or something. But I used to, like, almost every single month get a bunch of coupons for some places in the mail just randomly. Like, you know, like Wendy's or Hardee's or, you know, like other places like that. But for whatever reason, I have not seen one in my mail, like, almost all year. I'm not sure if they just stopped doing it to our area or what's happening. But, yeah, there used to be so many good coupons. And now none of them come anymore, because I hate using, like, those apps that you have to for a lot of the places. Like the McDonald's app, or the Burger King app, or the Taco Bell app, or whatever app place has. It's a lot more convenient to just clip a coupon, save, like, $5 or something, or a few bucks. Yeah, grocery prices have gone up, but nowhere as near as much as fast food. Food everywhere has gone up. I was just saying that I feel like fast food, proportionally, relative to all other food prices, has gone up the most. If you compare it to, like, grocery prices, or restaurant prices, or any other category of food prices. Fast food specifically, I feel like, has gone up by the largest margin. Relative to other food. Yeah, grocery prices have gone up too. For the most part, I don't notice it as much in grocery stores. Because I feel like in grocery stores, it's always like that very slow increase over time. You never just like walk in and it's like, oh, this item's like $2 more now today. Like generally it's like, oh, 10 cents there, then 10 cents, then 10 cents, then 20 cents. Like it just keeps nudging its way up. It's like the frog in boiling water kind of situation. Where if you do it slowly, it won't notice. But if you do it very quickly, it'll notice. Like fast food places, they did it very quickly. But grocery stores, they generally pretty marginally increase prices. Like it could be by the week, by the month. But it's normally a pretty gradual process. Whereas fast food places, I feel like overnight some of them have just like doubled some menu items in price. We're pretty close to it. Mr. Z. Oh, we got 6 minutes left. How are we doing on a ladder? We still haven't made it? Gosh, maybe we should be throwing in some Blood Frenzy, though there's not a good Blood Frenzy location to do today. Which is kind of unfortunate. The triple inner ring did not get a single Blood Frenzy for double gold marks. Because we were able to claim all 3 to gold marks today. Hey, that reminds me, we don't have any alliance battles to do today either. Wednesday's the day we have 0. But we have the 3 battles to go do. With 0 alliance fights. Because starting from Monday, it goes 2, 3, 0, 2, 2, 1, 0. And we're currently on that first 0. So tomorrow will be 2, and then the following day will be 2, and then the following day will be 1, and then 0, and then it repeats. Now that the system actually works correctly again. Because there was one week where it was very much not working correctly. It's kind of funny because it was right after the video where I mentioned how it works. On the Monday video, and then that entire week didn't do anything even remotely like that. Even though the system I mentioned in that video is how it works. It's just that one particular week was exceedingly glitchy, but has since been fixed. Now they work correctly. It's just kind of funny that the week in which I explain how it works is the week that it doesn't function. One and only week. Wendy's use napkins? What about Wendy's use napkins? You keep mentioning that. I have almost no napkins from fast food places right now. The entire stack, ever since we've had another person living here, like, we don't have any spare napkins anymore now. We actually use, what's it called? Paper towels now. We basically depleted our napkin disposal. Sanitary napkins. Speaking of napkins, I need to rub my eyes. I'm not sure why. They feel really light sensitive right now. I'm only gonna be streaming for another few minutes, so not that big a deal. I think the main thing is that light that I turn on. That's something I need to fix later this summer or sometime this year. I've been meaning to for a while. But aside from fixing that light that doesn't work at my ceiling, that hasn't worked for like 7 years because of hurricane damage, which was one of the things we didn't fix during all the hurricane repairs. It was more important to fix the roof and everything else. But aside from that light in my ceiling that doesn't work, I've been meaning to get like better like studio lighting. Because I'm using like a cheap like $20 little lamp thing. That has not been replaced. And the way that it distributes light is really hard on the eyes. It's actually nice when we've been doing some other streams lately where we haven't had a face cam. Because I haven't needed to turn that light on. But if I don't have it on right now, I'm going to look so dark. Like, this is how bad the lighting is in the room right now. If I turn this off. This is how bad we are right now. It looks like we're in pitch darkness. Not to mention the green screen doesn't know what to do because it's so dark. Because I don't have it adjusted for it. Okay, look how dark that is. This is with the light not on. The little $20 little light thingy. There we go. But I need a better quality one. That is also angled in a way that isn't as hard on the eyes, but still lights up everything properly. Not sure exactly what I need. It's something I need to look for at some point. Also, I would love to have a turn at some point as well. Eventually we'll get to do a turn. Did that strip get nerfed? Why are you being not nerfed all of a sudden? Go back to being nerfed. Go back to being nerfed. Thank you. Finally. Hey, unnerf that journey troop just for this battle. How about a foot cam? No. Actually, my feet have been really dry lately. I've actually just been soaking them. Just because of how dry they've been. I almost feel like I should start using like a moisturizer or something on them. I guess that just happens with like older age too. I feel like they keep getting grittier and harder. Because I always wash my hands so often that they always say soft. But my feet are starting to become like old men feet. Not exactly, but just from using them. Just the general wear and tear. It's not really something I thought I would ever need to use, but then I now realize it's like, oh yeah, all these products exist for a reason, don't they? Because I've never used a product specifically on my feet for something like that. Because water is perfectly fine. It's just a lack of moisture a lot of times. I think it's mostly because of the summer and everything too. Like as it gets hotter, they just get dried out more. But no, no foot cam. No, Lester. Anyways, does anyone else have any other questions? Any other anythings? Serious questions that aren't foot cam questions? Otherwise, as soon as this timer goes out, we'll probably call it for the night. Of which we have 0 minutes left. You realize it's already over. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Let me just double check that we've done every daily, I guess. And we did reach leaderboard. Only 3rd place, but hey. Leaderboard's leaderboard. Doesn't matter what place we get as long as we're somewhere there by the end of the week. Oh, you know what we need to go do? Oh, you know what we can do tonight that we haven't done yet that I technically could have done yesterday and completely forgot to go do it? Actually, I could have done it on Monday as well and completely forgot to go do it. Though on Monday we have a reason because of the teeth and everything. But yesterday I should have remembered. But I think we could buy the final pets, right? Oh, no, I already got these two. Never mind, I already remembered to do it earlier. Next week is the week we can finally do it. Never mind, I already remembered to get these. Yeah, next week we can get the final 2 PvP pets we don't have. The Porculus and the Silver Dragon, or Dragoon. But, yeah, we'll finally have them all. Assuming it rotates correctly. Walk barefoot in this... yeah, I haven't been to the beach for a while, even though I live near the beach. I have not really been going to the beach the last couple years. Mostly because of just general ocean pollution and stuff like that. And because I've pretty much lived near the beach my entire life, and at this point, after like 30 years of living near beach, it loses some of its appeal. But I haven't really been to the beach for years, despite living like not even a mile from the beach, not even half a mile from the beach. It's just I'm kind of so used to it by this point, after so many years of living near it. That's not really like a thing of interest anymore. I know, it's still nice walking on the beach though. I normally walk like right at like that brownish area, like where the sand is like moistened by the water, but not drenched by the water, because the sand is nice and soft there. So I sometimes walk up and down it like that, but I haven't in a while. I really should again sometime. Just haven't really bothered. The problem right now is where I live, the pier-to-pier is like so long. Where I used to live, going from pier to pier would take like, I want to say 10-15 minutes. If I try doing it now, it is a several mile walk. I want to say it takes like over half an hour or something. Like, it is a very long distance. Like, even just going one way and back is longer than like pier to pier was where I used to live. And it's a nice milestone to have something to walk towards. Because it feels weird just walking in a direction for like 10 minutes, not hitting any landmark, and then walking back in the other direction for 10 minutes without going all the way to a landmark. It just feels off to me. Which is why I don't really do it as much where I live now. Because it just feels like you're walking aimlessly on a beach. Whereas walking to an object feels like you're walking there for a reason. Even if you're also just walking there pointlessly on a beach. Oh no, this is how I think about it. It just feels weird to walk. It'd be like if you were in like an open field and you walked like halfway through the field rather than walking all the way towards like a tree at the other side of the field. It just feels really aimless. Even though they're both effectively the same action. I don't know, it's just how I think about it. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. We will be back tomorrow, same time as always. 2 hours prior to now tomorrow. I'll probably mostly mess around with the class events. And a ton of Underspire. We haven't touched Underspire all week. And you know what that means? Underspire Day. So I'll be probably going all the way to the 4th section or something from there. Anyways, guys, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week. I will catch you guys soon. Thank you so much for stopping by as always. Greatly appreciated. And I will catch you guys later. Feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and it helps out. Is greatly appreciated as well. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.